This is not normal, not by a long shot. It's not even in the same zip code as normal. It's the sort of exceptionalism that makes ordinary folks glance twice, shake their heads, and mutter, "Well, I'll be." It's the sort of extraordinary that causes seasoned NBA analysts to chew on their pens and grapple for superlatives. And yet, in the basketball universe of Nikola Jokić, this aberration is starting to look suspiciously like the norm. Let me set the scene for you. Game 4 of the Western Conference semifinals. And there's Jokić being pressed by Devin Booker while he casually makes a difficult shot. And the big Serb just notched up his 50th point of the game. Let that sink in for a moment. He would end the match with 53 points and 11 assists as a center, a statistical achievement so rare that only 2 other big men in the history of the NBA have managed it during the playoffs. However, reducing Jokić to mere numbers does a disservice to the artistry he's been exhibiting in this playoff. The Phoenix Suns, for all their sun-soaked bravado, have found themselves as helpless against Jokić as a kitten in a lion's den. Game 6 was the main dish, the climax of Jokic's symphony of dominance. Jokić decided there was no need for a Game 7. He strutted into the Suns arena with the cool confidence of a master chef in his own kitchen. He served up a delectable feast of 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists, all in the first quarter. He was the maestro of the game, conducting his own symphony, matching the entire Phoenix team's output point for point. The Suns, for their part, looked on helplessly, like deer caught in the headlights of an oncoming Jokić freight train. Now, let's delve a bit deeper into the mechanics of Jokic's game. It's a thrilling blend of size, skill, and finesse that the NBA has never seen before. Picture this: Jokić, ball in hand, at the top of the key. He pump fakes a handoff to Murray, drives at Jock Landale, absorbs contact, and kisses the ball off the glass for a floater. It's a play that combines the strength of a power forward with the soft touch of a shooting guard. A stunning testament to Jokic's multifaceted game. And the Suns, well, they were left reeling, like a bunch of sunbathers caught in a sudden downpour. They had no answers, no solutions, no magic spells to contain the Serbian sorcerer. Over 6 games, Jokić averaged 34 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists, joining LeBron James and Russell Westbrook in the ultra-exclusive 30-point triple-double club for a playoff series. But let's be honest, Russell's shooting was about as consistent as a politician's promises. So the only true comparison here is with LeBron, the king himself. But let's take a breather from the scoring for a moment. Let's shift our focus to another aspect of Jokic's game that is so often overlooked in the shadow of his remarkable scoring prowess: his passing. Nikola Jokić might be the greatest passing big man the NBA has ever seen. His vision, timing, and precision have been leaving spectators and defenders alike in awe throughout the playoffs. He's the sort of player who makes the extraordinary look easy and the impossible look achievable. There's a casualness to his genius that's almost disconcerting. Whether it's a seemingly no-look pass that finds a cutter in stride, or a deftly lofted lob that drops perfectly into the hands of a teammate, Jokic's passing is the basketball equivalent of a Mozart symphony, a beautiful blend of finesse, timing, and creativity. One of the most beautiful aspects of Jokic's game is his ability to create opportunities for his teammates. He's a 7-foot-tall maestro, conducting an orchestra of finely tuned athletes with the precision and creativity of a seasoned virtuoso. This man doesn't just see the game, he sees the game within the game. His passes aren't just accurate, they're anticipatory, arriving in the pocket before the recipient even knows they're open. Yet it's not just his offensive prowess that's been turning heads. Nikola Jokić has been putting in the hard yards on the defensive end too. In fact, according to the numbers, Jokić has been covering more miles per game in these playoffs than all but 8 other players, with only Kevin Durant representing non-guards in the top 10. And let's not forget that Jokić is no featherweight. He's a 7-foot, 286-pound behemoth, outrunning players significantly lighter and presumably fitter than him. In fact, he's the basketball embodiment of the proverbial tortoise, consistently outperforming the hares with his relentless determination and work ethic. The narrative around Jokic's defense has also shifted dramatically. Gone are the days when he was labeled as a defensive liability. The Serbian big man has been putting in a commendable defensive shift, with the Nuggets boasting the 6th best defense in the playoffs. Jokic's hands are as active as his feet, consistently deflecting balls and forcing turnovers that ignite Denver's fast breaks. Even Devin Booker had high praise for Jokic's defensive capabilities after Game 4. You know, he's doing all that offensively, and at the same time, on defense, he's up on all of our screens, so he's playing out of his mind. He's doing what he does. And his scoring? Well, it's as good as any in the NBA. His shot selection, his timing, his touch, it's all peerless. There's a certain ludicrousness to the ease with which Jokić scores. Whether it's a deft floater from 10 feet, a hook shot that seems to never miss, or an off-balance reverse layup, Jokic's offensive repertoire is as varied as it is effective. Yet the most striking aspect of Jokic's scoring is its subtlety. Unlike the bruiser bigs of the past and present who ply their trade in the paint, Jokić operates in the mid-range, a step or two away from the rim. It's a testament to his incredible touch and size, a unique combination that we've never seen before in NBA history. Kevin Durant dubbed Jokić as an all-time great, after matching up against the center in 6 playoff games, noting that he would be remembered as one of the best centers in the history of the sport. Even Denver head coach Michael Malone confessed, "I think sometimes we maybe take Nikola Jokić for granted." After the 2-time MVP finished the decisive Game 6 with 32 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists, and 3 steals. Malone lauded Jokic's consistency and his unflappable demeanor, labeling him Cool Hand Luke, and that he never forces anything. He's the kind of player that reads the game and takes what it gives him. So what more is there to say about a man who just averaged 35 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists in a playoff series against a solid Phoenix Suns? Just this: Nikola Jokić isn't just rewriting the record books. He's redefining what's possible in the game of basketball, and in the process, he's giving us all a masterclass in the art of the improbable. This man, folks, is truly ridiculous, in the most exceptional way. And to close things, we have to give our 2 cents on the MVP outcome as well. As we all know, the MVP title was somewhat controversially awarded to Joel Embiid, despite the compelling case for Nikola Jokić. The metrics highlight Jokic's superior performance, with him outpacing Embiid in key areas like games played, rebounds, assists, player efficiency ratings, and win shares. Jokic's commitment to the team and humble demeanor, although commendable, didn't resonate as strongly with voters as Embiid's well-orchestrated campaign and media-backed narratives. Embiid's avoidance of direct contest with Jokić, which should have dented his MVP credentials, instead got overshadowed by his media-painted heroics. The prospect of a rare MVP three-peat, untouched since Larry Bird's era, may have inadvertently invited voter fatigue against Jokić. This MVP decision underscores a troubling trend of favoring media narratives and popularity over quantifiable on-court contributions. As Jokić continues to demonstrate his prowess, the MVP debate reveals the need for a more impartial evaluation process that truly reflects a player's value. The debate surrounding this year's MVP award embodies the passion and complexity of basketball, reminding us that our love for the game is not just about who wins, but how the game is played and valued. However, Nikola Jokić is undeniably the NBA's best player, and his performances in the playoffs only serve to further reinforce this. And the way the newly crowned MVP and his Philadelphia 76ers lost the decisive Game 7 against the Boston Celtics leaves no room for debate. Embiid finished the game with 15 points on an abysmal 27% field goal percentage. I know he may not be all the way 100% fitness-wise, but who really is in the playoffs, right? And as the ongoing Western Conference Finals showdown between the Denver Nuggets and LeBron's Los Angeles Lakers has taken center stage, Denver's hope for securing their first NBA Finals appearance hinged on the continued dominance of their star player. The time is now, and I firmly believe that the Nuggets have never been in a better position to seize this opportunity. Brace yourselves for what's already an electrifying series. However, a player who has been far from electrifying in recent times is Ja Morant. The 23-year-old was recorded for a second time flashing a firearm, just weeks after the first incident at a Denver nightclub. These events have sparked significant controversy within the NBA community, and many are starting to lose faith in the highly talented player. I've made a video about the whole situation, the questionable individuals he associates with, and all the unfortunate incidents Ja has found himself in over the past few months. Check it out.